We're the legends of the stoop. We're here to advocate, educate, and inspire society. Coming at you live from the South Side. Welcome back to Legends of the Stoop. I am your host, Mike Pernice. Today, my guest stopping by the stoop is none other than Jayy Braxx, my brother. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, man.
Nice to see you.
Want to take a toast, bro? We got the
absolutely.
It's going. You know?
Cheers.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, man. It's a pleasure. You know, it's a beautiful day out. You know, it was a little chilly earlier in the week, but this weekend's definitely gonna be nice. Go outside, just kind of, get out. Hopefully, it stays like this. Steelers Sunday coming up. I'm excited.
Yeah, and you guys better win too.
Yeah, dude. I got some money down.
Man, I got some people's DraftKings account's gonna look pretty sad on Sunday.
Oh yeah. Do you do fantasy football by chance?
You know what's crazy? I literally just got into it.
Really?
Literally.
How you doing?
I don't know yet.
No.
I gotta get some help. So anybody out there that knows what they're doing with that type of thing, definitely help me out.
I just made 5 waiver moves this week because McCaffrey got hurt. I drafted Debo Samuels, so he's still on the bench, and then Drew Brees, man, just killing me. He's killing me. You know what I mean? Just not. I was expecting 300 yards every year basically.
Yeah.
And it's just not happening right now. But I'm just glad football's back. I'm glad that there's some social activity to do. Southside's kind of popping off a little bit too much for my liking, to be honest. Still a little too much crowding, but I guess it's just not used to it. It's been a while.
Right. It has been a while, man. It's crazy to see people out again, for sure. I haven't really thought of it that way though. I've been waiting for it. Come on, let's go outside. Please, open the stores, open the stages back up. That's what we really need.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do some shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a shame. The Rec's closing. Earlier this week. It's definitely a Pittsburgh. Iconic location. For concert venues here, but it definitely highlights the struggle that there is right now, especially in the entertainment industry. Trying to be creative.
It's wild to even think that a place like the Rex would, be in a situation where they would close.
Right.
You would think that a place like that would just stay around forever. It's one of those places, kind of like Permani's in Pittsburgh,
mm-hmm.
where it's made its stamp. It's somewhere in Pittsburgh that concerts are going to be at.
Right.
But it just goes to show, just like Kodak, just like a lot of other notable brands that we admire and grow up with,
right?
They can fall off too.
No,
offense
absolutely.
to Kodak, but we know that certain brands and things over time, even Sears,
yep.
Or other places like that that's been in a certain market. If you don't adapt, you'll fail. You know what I mean? So it's just sad, but I feel like the Rex had an opportunity to do some huge things in the future.
Yeah.
I never got to perform there yet, so I was just damn. But that's selfish to me, but
yeah,
it's definitely a huge loss for the city.
Yeah, it definitely is, because it's Pittsburgh, in my opinion, especially getting into this podcast and getting to meet, musicians like yourself, throughout the Western PA region, we have a lot of talent here, but it just seems like there's not enough support and recognition basically, and it doesn't there was the Rex, and then there's Mr. Smalls, and then it's kind of after that it's you're playing in a legal storefront where it's it's a great venue, they're making the most of it, you know what I mean, but it's not that concert venue type environment that
right.
To help you elevate to another level, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah, I definitely agree with that. The store, I feel like the stages will open when it's time, though.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, a lot of artists are doing what artists do and being innovative and figuring out how to make it happen regardless of the situations.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the independent artists out there,
Yep.
Right now I'm in the process of figuring out how to do, certain monetized events and things that may not have the largest crowd gatherings, but still, able to make some type of something off of it,
right.
and give something back to the community at the same time, and
Right.
perform and just make things happen like usual, and kind of like use it as a band-aid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everybody's ready for everything to open back up. Like,
and I think the thing is too, it's like, I feel like people are starting to become impatient. You know what I mean? But it's like it's been so long, and it's like you're almost like running out of things to do at home.
right.
You know what I mean? And it's like that's why I feel like going back, like starting back up to school, and like coming back to the semester was just like it's not the same. You know what I mean? It's just like a weird vibe because it's like half my class, more than half my classes, I'm just in my bedroom on a Zoom meeting. You know what I mean? And it's like.
I'm so glad that I missed that. I literally missed it this close, bro. I was this close.
You're lucky, man.
Swear.
You're fucking lucky. Like this is it's just a weird way to learn, and it's like, and one of my degrees is in education, and like right now I could not imagine being like a elementary school teacher, like teaching kids like 8, 9 years old virtually. No, thank you.
Right.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like it's all wild right now.
Yeah.
But eventually everything will open up. I'm trying to stay optimistic about it.
Right.
That's really all I can do.
No, absolutely.
But at the end of the day, we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep dropping new music and content and everything else, because we got the internet at the palms of our hands. You know what I mean? So might as well take advantage of the shit.
Yeah, and you were just mentioning, like right before we like went on air, I guess you could say, about like a new song that you have coming out in 5 days, Bad Vibes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah. So, Bad Vibes. By the way, I just dropped a single with Jayy Society, which is my record label. We just dropped a single called Max Out. It's on all streaming platforms as well. And we're pushing that too, but Bad Vibes, I'm dropping that on the anniversary of my mother's passing, and which is September 30th. And the reason why I wanted to drop a song on that day is just because like I really wanted to use that song to kind of like escape from all the bad vibes that I have around me.
Yeah.
Because the song kind of like talks a little bit about how like I've dealt with depression, and I've dealt with anxiety throughout my life, and just how I kind of just don't want those things around me anymore, and like the triggers that bring that type of activity into my life. It's kind of like get rid of them type shit. So Bad Vibes is really like something kind of it's a little eerie, from compared to a lot of my other music, but I feel like it's needed. Yeah. It was a good relief for me to make a song like that. So I'm excited for everybody to hear it.
Yeah. I'm sure it like helped you like process some like maybe leftover emotions from that particular event or other things that have transpired in your lifetime. And it's like that's honestly I got into poetry back in middle school when I lost a close friend to cancer, and and then my father like lost his job, and like it was just like kind of just like a weird point because it's like you're old enough to like understand what's going on, so it's like kind of like, and I'm the oldest like sibling in my family, so it's like kind of like feel like it's like your responsibility to like try and fix,
make people feel better.
And and then it's just like so I did what I had to do, and like in the process I've learned so much about myself. Like it actually wasn't until back in February where I finally decided that I need to go and get professional help, and I've been seeing like a therapist every week, and it's like been great. Like I've really learned so much, and it was all honestly like I kind of like took those like COVID months, like of when we were in lockdown, like March, April, May, kind of.
Yeah.
Like through that time period to like really just like hone in on myself and like just like kind of process a lot of things that have just been like tucked away and like bottled up. And like honestly, like COVID is horrible of an event as it has been, and like how much it has had an effect on like families in our society as a whole, you know, to me it was a great period because it seemed like the world kind of slowed down for a little bit, and like for a second it was giving you time to do like that like kind of like spring cleaning type thing with yourself.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
I agree with that, like heavily, because it's unfortunate that this happened, you know, and especially for me, like I feel like I was just at a nice point. Like I had just got off of tour with Warren G.
Yeah.
Right after that, I went on tour with Kevin Gates, and you know we did an opening for him. And then after that, I had a headline at Mr. Small's Theater at the beginning of the year.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And then like we had some rollouts for press.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was doing great. And then next thing you know, COVID.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my God, everybody in the house, curfews, no liquor. Like that was another thing. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't even buy a bottle at one point.
Yeah.
Like,
it's ridiculous.
I was like stressing, but that's when I got into, you know, another entrepreneur venture that I wanted to. Like a lot of people might not know this about me, but like I do all my own engineering. I record mostly all of my own songs. I make beats. I've done production for, you know, people like FTR, speaking locally.
Yeah.
Jimmy Wabo, you know, and I've also done videos, you know, like I've done in-studio sessions with Lil Boosie when he was in Pittsburgh with Miss Money, you know. I've done things all over the place, and I recently just got into the life insurance business just to expand even more, you know. And it's just like, you think to yourself, like maybe these opportunities wouldn't come to you unless you had something happen, you know, like you figure out you have a need, or you're like, you have a want, you know, you might want to feel better mentally, you know, you might want to make more money, and then you'll do something, and then it could, you know, help you make a, did I win or did I fail at this situation?
Right.
You know, if it's doing good, then you keep doing it. You know, it's just like, you figure out, oh, okay, if I go to therapy, or if I do music video for this client, then next thing you know, I might actually be able to do this. You know, it's just like a step ladder type shit.
Yeah, no.
And I feel like COVID allowed a lot of people to do that.
Yeah.
Like graphic designers too.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was just a great pause, and like really gave time for people to like really genuflect. And I think, you know, there's something to be learned from that genuflect and as a society. And, you know, it's like, I hope it stays with us. It's not one of those in the moment kind of things, like the practices that have been picked up. You know, like in my opinion, I don't understand why sick people, like if they wanted to go to work, weren't wearing a mask before or something. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just like simple like hygiene things. Like I've noticed is like I kind of hope like stay around. You know what I mean? It's like, why not? You know what I mean?
Right.
Let's like try and prevent like another situation like this at the same time.
You know what's crazy? I think as Americans, we're easily traumatized by things.
Yeah.
Like, not to say that 9/11 wasn't a traumatic moment, but look at everything that has been placed in front of us after 9/11. You know what I mean? And then after COVID, you know, you can imagine that people will have to wear masks if they feel sick to work, or you might have to get your temperature checked for the rest of your life, you know, before you go to work.
Yeah.
And these are things that, you know, we're trying to do to take away from that traumatic moment of this happening or that happening. And it's just like, it's just easy to get us, I guess.
It kind of like goes back to like our conversation we were having when you first got here about like trading. There's like a fine line between privacy and like security, and like how we were talking about like terms and conditions, and like, you know, we say like, oh, like I need to go get like toilet paper or something, and next thing you know, when you like open up your laptop and you're like searching up something on Google, you just start seeing like toilet paper like ads, like, you
Charmin all over
the place. Yeah.
like they're one of the brands. I always get ads for Charmin. I'm a pretty shitty guy. No, but they are on that Hulu though.
No.
But, yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. It'll all make sense though. In a couple months, we'll figure it out.
Well, what's been like, kind of like the things you've been working on over COVID, like whether like it's like personal things or like related to your business, you know, what have you been working on?
Honestly, I've been working on a lot of different things, like all over the place. But one of my main focuses over COVID was definitely like learning how to make the right decisions for my business and figuring out what I actually have to do in order for my plans to come to fruition. Like if I wanted to make this happen, I need to be able to have the plan in place, you know?
Right.
And for a long time, I didn't understand that. Like I would just think that, like school, I could just go in and ace the test because I paid attention in class.
Right.
You know? And that's how I've always been. But when it comes to your business and things, you can't do it that way. You have to have structure, and you have to understand that basically you're the teacher of your own self.
Yeah, and you hold yourself responsible.
Right. You're your own teacher too.
Yeah.
Though. And then like if you're the teacher and you have people that are your students, you know, like maybe not your students, but people that are looking at what you're doing, they're basically students.
Yeah.
So then
you're like mentoring.
Right. If you don't have your plan together, then how are you going to be able to, you know, help anybody else if you're not focused on what you actually want to do?
Yeah.
So like I definitely spend a lot of time like trying to figure out that, and you know, like I said, getting into the insurance business. Like I spent a couple months doing that. I went out to Chicago. I'm actually about to go out to Chicago again.
Okay.
Some music out there with a couple friends. And spend some time in the office with the insurance guys too.
Yeah.
And really just like make all of that make sense. Because I feel like that's the most important thing, to make everything that I do make sense together. You know?
Yeah. It's like you got a bunch of puzzle pieces, and it's just like now you just gotta put them all together.
Right.
Build that picture, build that dream.
Right. I feel like it's a lot easier for people if they just focus on one thing. Like if I could give advice to anybody, you know, it looks good and it feels good to be able to do a lot of things for yourself. But one thing that I would say is that it's even better when you're able to know that you're the best at one thing. You know,
like you're perfecting your craft.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, you know, like if you like just like if you're a trades kind of person, it's like, you know, you'll pick like one trade to get like really good at, like your master trade, right? We'll just say it's like a plumber, right? But then like you realize that it's like, oh, like, you know, a lot of people are asking for electrical work, like while I'm at their house, or like asking for electricians or whatever the fucking case may be. Right. It's like, oh, well, instead of subbing it out, or like, you know what I mean? It's like if you go and learn that trade, then you can also market yourself for that as well. You know what I mean? It's just another facet. Like, you know what I mean? It's like people, like, yes, like it's important to have like one mastery skill, I believe, like something you are more proficient at and like really can give to society. But at the same time, like I stress that like you don't want to be one dimensional.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I mean, I feel like it might just be me because I'm the person that can do multiple things, which is why it's like, oh man, you don't want that. Like it's like. Yeah. It's like the guy that's driving around in the Lambo, and it's like, bro, you don't want the Lambo. You know how much work I gotta put into this car? Like, you know how much the maintenance is? Like, he's worried about this stuff, and you're worried about, like, bro, but you have a Lambo. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing something right, you know? But then, like, I don't know. It's just like, it's a journey with everything else, and, you know, with everything that everybody goes through. Like it's just a learning process, you know. And
life in itself is a learning process.
I swear. Like we were talking about like marketing and shit. Like, bro, marketing is like even if you're an electrician, like it's always important. That's why, like, I really stress that, you know, artists take their marketing seriously and understand that content is key. You know, having content is so important. You know, like you got to be able to have shit that people are going to be able to
go and see.
Be able to know that this is for you. Like this is your brand and this is what you want to do. Like you can't like let it be a mystery because people don't want a mystery. People want something that they can trust and that they can go to.
Yeah, they would like the consistency and the reliability, you know, that comfort factor is really what you're seeking. Yeah,
exactly. So and I feel like it's important for artists to understand that posting your song every day isn't gonna get people to listen to it. Yeah, you have to do more than that. You know.
Well, you kind of have to like make it like you have to make a culture. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, it's like it can't just be nothing but like your song content or like, you know, stuff about like music video, but also like you like as like, you know, as like a person too. You have to show that. You know what I mean? People want to know who they're listening to. At least I do. I don't want to speak for everybody, but like I want to know about the people, you know, that I'm listening to, especially if it's like somebody I'm really enjoying, you know, and I'm like, you know, constantly just like listening to music and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like I want to know like why they're hurting the way they're hurting in their music, or why they, you know what I mean? Like I want to get that information. You know what I mean?
Right, because they could be living on the fucking hills, making sad boy music, and then they're fucking, you know, popping bottles with bottles,
right?
Going full throttle every other fucking day, and they're just like living a life, all smiles and shit on their Instagram, and then go to their SoundCloud or Spotify, and it's just like the saddest music ever and shit. It's like you don't really have too many reasons to be sad, man. Like I know people in real poverty, like, but I don't know. I feel like it's all so many people are just it's like a facade. In the internet, bro. That's why you can't get too caught up in the internet because that's what everybody. You know, I feel like it's important for people to be able to understand that a lot of the things that creatives, especially musicians that are like placed on a pedestal, like they're not always going through everything that they go through in their music. Like sometimes they're
sometimes
you know,
they're acting,
they're inferring that they lived life, but the song's actually written by somebody that lived that life. And they have a team behind them that helps them, you know, create this image that makes sense for their music.
Right.
Like, so people get too caught up in all that shit, but I feel like just making real music is what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I want to make music that I have fun making. Like,
right.
And if I want to make, like, I'm in an alternative too. So like, and I like 80s pop too.
Yeah.
So like I can't really tell you, you know, too many 80s pop artists. But one thing I do know is that I like synths, I like piano, and I like ballad, and I like certain shit. Like I've studied world music for 2 years, and I got to learn like, you know, music from Indonesia and like African instruments and, you know, things that originated in Ireland and then came to America and stuff like that.
Yeah, just like learn about the whole backstory, like the whole history.
Like really appreciate different sounds in all music, and I feel like if I wanted to make some shit like that one day, like I should be able to. And it's important for the people that support me to know that that could happen at any time. So you got to be open with that with your audience, or else you're gonna drop a song and they're gonna look at you like you're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Because like, what are you doing?
It's like completely off brand.
Right. Like,
yeah.
But I don't know. People are so used to that though. They're like used to going one place for one thing from one person. But like everybody changes. Like look at Drake. You know what I mean? Drake is like the #1 artist in the world, or at least hip hop artist.
Dude, his like the what song was it? Rock? No.
More Life?
Yeah.
Is that a song? Yeah, I feel like that's a song.
Laugh Now, Cry Later?
Yeah.
Bro, the Nike facility? Practically just a big, long commercial for Nike.
It was. It was the best Nike commercial ever.
Bro, that music video was
it even looked
incredible.
like a Nike ad. Like the LUTs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
on the edits and the color.
Yeah,
bro, that shit
yeah,
was
yeah. It just screamed like
yeah, it did. The green and it just was everything. And I've actually drove past the Nike facility once. My cousin actually lives out in Oregon, so
No
you
shit.
know, like he was trying to get me to go there. Like I think it was in February, and we just didn't have the time because I was only out there for like a week to work on a project out there, and I just like nah.
We're at in Oregon. Like
we're in Portland.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Portland's interesting, bro. It's
do you know like any of the artists like out there?
I know a couple local artists, but I've never been able to tap in with like the more of a mainstream sound, like if that's what you're asking. But like I know a couple local artists.
Yeah. Do you happen to know the guy goes by Swiggle and Mandela, I think it is. No. He's like kind of like up and coming like right now. Like he started like a protest type. So like it was a like protest challenge. So like he challenged like local artists like in Pittsburgh or Portland to use this beat that like he made, right? Or whoever. But he was like tied to it. And they would challenge them on social media to like, you know, make their own like protest like music video towards like the police and like everything that's been happening out in Portland. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like he's been like marketing really well. So I mean, definitely like try and get you hooked up with him. Like, if you like being like if you're gonna be out in Portland and stuff like that. Another one, he's like a good buddy of mine now. His name's Garrett Swinson. He goes by G. Swinson. He's a really cool dude. Really.
He's also out in Portland.
Yeah, yeah. He's like he lives like about half hour outside of Portland City, like the city limits.
Okay. Portland's not too big.
Yeah.
It's big, but it's not really. It's kind of like simple. You know what I mean? But it definitely reminds me a lot about Pittsburgh.
Really?
Yeah, like it reminds me of Pittsburgh so much, just because of the bridges and the water and the.
I heard it's like people like. I've heard that like I know around here that like been to Portland. They're like if you took like Pittsburgh and like dialed up the like hipster level by like 4. It's like
basically.
Yeah.
Basically, that's a perfect example. I mean, like people are wearing this shit that's from the '70s up there. So,
yeah.
No, seriously, like they're really going hard with that shit. Like,
yeah.
Wow. Like,
there's a lot of tiny homes out there.
Yeah. My cousin like lives. He's from Pennsylvania, so he like does. Cool. He's into like condos and shit and stuff like that. He wants to live
like in real estate.
No, not in the real estate, but just like the places he likes to live.
Oh, okay.
Like, he likes to be in that type of environment. So
oh, okay, I get you.
I never really got to. Whenever I go out there and I'm spending time, like I'll go to the studios and shit like that. But
yeah.
when I'm hanging with him, he's like at a condo smoking weed. Yeah, like a studio setup in a crib, kind of like what you could do in here, but like more like I don't know, spacious. He's very minimal, but like also very techy.
Okay.
Which is where I'm trying to go, like with my next studio setup. I want it to be very minimal. Like I'm like the type of guy where, you know who Lex Luger is? All right, so Lex Luger is like one of the best producers in hip hop.
Okay.
Like, at least in the last 20 years. Well, 10 years. He's been one of the most influential, in my opinion. Maybe 15. It's hard to place where he's at, but he basically was worth Gucci Mane and like a lot of Atlanta scene. This isn't me.
No.
I don't care. But I'm saying though, he was basically with a lot of the Atlanta scene.
Yeah.
And he really just like helped Southside for real. I mean, him and Southside came up together, but he kind of like made videos about like how he would just be on the floor with a desktop and like make a fire ass beat and send it out, and it would just be the hardest song ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and he created this whole trap sound that everybody's using now. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like it's a lot of 3 6 Mafia inspired, but it's also just like people like him really helped create a sound. You know what I mean?
Right.
I always kind of wanted to do that shit for like this area,
Right.
which is why I was like, when I was 15, I was making beats for, you know, the FTR squad, and they did a song with Chief Keef that did crazy numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was a part of the production team behind that camp, because they had a song with SD.
Okay.
Who was like another Chicago-based rapper who was a part of Chief Keef's team around like 2013, which is right before Chief Keef really like
exploded.
Took off, you know what I mean? So whenever Pittsburgh was in that scene, I was really working on beats and like trying to help create the sound and shit. And I was blessed to be able to work with like Drama and you know, Jimmy Wapo and shit like that, which has helped me like even till this day, like that still means something.
Yeah, absolutely. There, you know? Yeah, you're building like, you know, like rapport and like experience that like has like speaks volume, you know, especially with like names that you're dropping. They carry weight in the industry, you know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I don't even care about it being in the industry. I mean, like for Pittsburgh's sake, you know what I mean? But
yeah. I
don't know, man. I just fuck with my team. I don't even know where I was going. I'm drinking too much bourbon.
Well, tell me a little bit about like what your like marketing strategy is, because you know, like go in depth with it. Like I want to learn. I want you to teach me like what Jayy Braxx uses to be as successful as you are.
Well, one thing that I really like strive to make sure I do every day is use organic free marketing as much as you can. You know what I mean? Talk to people, network with people, comment, like, you know, talk to people.
Right,
like,
be active.
Be on your phone. Be active. Yeah, be active. Like, the more you post might not always mean activity. You know,
right.
Just posting doesn't mean activity. You spend a whole day responding to DMs. You can spend a whole day going on people's pages that are have similar demographics as you, and you know, interacting with their comment section and you know, rallying up people to agree with you on things, or maybe spark a conversation. You know, those things are most important at first, in my opinion, because you can't even do the free shit. You don't need to be paying money for shit, because you're gonna waste your money, and you're gonna be looking for the easy way. Because people with money sometimes they'll just be like, oh well, I got 5 G's, I might as well just put it into this Facebook ad real quick. And then, you know, next thing you know, the Facebook ad, it does something, but then they're like, oh, I don't know what the fuck to do with this now. You know, these people, and then they gotta hire somebody else to do it. But then if you would have just did some of the free shit for a little bit and learned how to do some of the, you know, commenting and figure out ways to engage people, then, you know, that's first and foremost. Another thing that I like to do is I really like to, you know, run ads. Running ads is important. You know,
on like where do you run ads on? Like I primarily, like for me at least, I primarily just focus on Instagram and Google, and like pushing ads for like the YouTube channel. But like I have like a Facebook presence, but I don't like. It's just linked, you know what I mean? Like all the posts I post on Instagram go right on.
Right. Yeah.
But just because of like demographic that I'm trying to target, it's just like Facebook, like the average user is like 55 and up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. So I mean, one thing you gotta realize is sometimes your brand isn't what you want it to be. You know what I mean? Sometimes your brand, you might think it's the coolest, most hip thing ever to have a podcast, and then people our age, they'll look at it and they'll be like, I'm not really interested in this. But the next thing you know, you look at something like your age and the sex or gender in your demographic, and you'll find that you'll have like older men, 45 to 55 or 62, that are really interested in listening to a podcast about upcoming artists for some reason in this area of Detroit, or they're in New York and they're like really into this shit, and they're like 35 and 40. You know what I mean?
Right.
Next thing you know, you you might switch some stuff up, switch the way it looks, and then you'll post that content consistently like you've been.
Right.
But the people that have been able to see it, they're like more engaged now because you actually have some
geared
stuff
towards
more
them.
like, yeah, it seems like it's like, oh, this is for me this time. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was saying about those, like, I forget what the brand is that I was saying, but they just basically send us ads for, you know, things that we like stuff that we need, like shaving stuff, or
like a Dollar Shave Club.
Yeah, or a bourbon company, or, you know, something that sends a box of manly shit like knives and stuff like that. Like, all that stuff is just, it's the same with brands too. You know what I mean? You
if Omaha Steaks is listening, I'd love a sponsorship from Omaha Steaks.
You heard it. But yeah, like, it's basically that shit. I feel like is important too, like understanding who you're talking to at all times, you know, and understanding that everybody's not gonna fuck with you, you know, because I feel like a lot of artists and people that get into marketing, they do what everybody else is doing and they think that it's gonna work for them, but it's not always gonna work for you.
It's so personalized.
Yeah, it is, and it's very much trial and error. You know what I mean? Like, I spent months and months and months of failure before I ever got any success off of my own music marketing. Like, I had to learn from, you know, all types of different like campaign tutorials and what are they called, like seminars, and, like collectives of videos, and you gotta watch like courses and shit, like all that stuff on top of going to school for it, you know what I mean? So like, it seems like it's easy whenever, because it's the internet, but like a lot of it's just like
there's
trial and error.
And like you're fighting so much other content, like it's flooded, it's a, you know what I mean, it's like flooded, and it's like what makes you stick out, you know what I mean? So it's like when you find your niche, it's almost like you gotta exploit the fuck out of it. That way, like, you gain the traction you need, and then once you get that niche, like, kind of established, then it's like, all right, now I can, like, kind of branch off and, like, start, like, appealing to different areas, you know what I mean? While still maintaining that, like, that base following, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I feel like people, if they want to, like, maintain their base following, the best thing to do is to figure out a way to move your following around. Really see who your base following is, really. You know what I mean? Like, you could have a huge following on Instagram, and then take those same Instagram loyal followers and move them to Snapchat. And if you can't swipe up on Instagram yet, guess what you can do on Snap? You can swipe up. So now I just transferred those people over to my Snap. Now I can get them to swipe up if I didn't have 10K followers on Instagram, which is a cool way to just, like, basically say, fuck you, I'm taking my people and I'm moving where I need them to go, because this is my brand.
I never understood why, like, that's just not given with, like, if you're a business account. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like, it's such a key feature. It's, like, limited until you get verified. Like, I feel like that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you don't get if you don't have 10,000 followers, you can't swipe up.
Right.
So it's just like, I don't know. That was always done with me too. And there's people that are fucking verified that don't have 10K that can't swipe up. You know what I mean? It's literally 10K. Like,
I wonder why.
I honestly have no idea. But I mean,
Instagram, fix your shit.
these applications, man, I don't know, bro. It's just like social media is just like, I don't know, it just changes everything for a lot of people. You know what I mean? TikTok will change your life overnight.
Yeah.
Like, a good YouTube video will change your life. You know what I mean? You'll get subscribers for life off of one video. You know, people will subscribe to you every time on one video. You'll know that video too. You'll be like, wow, man, like, I looked at my YouTube analytics and I'm just like, geez, people are really watching the fuck out of this video. Like, this video is literally 10 minutes long, and people stop watching at 8 minutes and 22 seconds.
Yeah,
like,
that's
it'll
great.
Be something really averaged out that way, but like, it would just be dope to know that, like, even 300 people sat watch you talk. That's 300 people that are willing to, like,
actually sit there and listen
too.
Yeah.
Which could also help you, like, build revenue for your businesses or brands.
Right.
So I really like getting into that type of shit too, because like that's a real bread and butter. You know, you can be an artist and make music all your life, but if you don't have, if you're independent and you don't have some type of idea of how to make revenue or
you gotta diversify. You can't just rely on like stream numbers and like album purchases and.
If streams were it, it'll be. Whew. A lot of artists would be like broke.
Filthy. Well, yeah, depending. Like Drake would probably be just like filthy rich.
I mean, he is filthy rich.
Well, he should.
He like uses his jet to like paint shit in the sky sometimes. It's like, you know what I mean? The fuel for a private jet is not cheap.
No.
You know, so it's just crazy to think about. But it's just like, it's just a journey, man. Like people want to be Drake, but they don't want to go through what Drake had to go through to get where he got. You know what I mean? And it's just like everybody's musical journey or business journeys are going to be different, but when it comes to marketing, it really just takes the ability to learn and really like understand that shit might not work the first time you try it, and it's just like everything else you do. So, for real.
So when it comes to yourself, and then also speaking on behalf of like Genius Society, like either together or separately, what would you say like your like motto or like mission, like statement, like would be?
Well, I mean, for me, I really always wanted people to just know that, Genius Society was created because I wanted to, excuse me, I wanted to put together something where everybody could be a genius in their own way. And when I say that, I mean like if you're passionate about something and you really like believe that you could do something with your life, if you take the, proper steps, do all the learning you need to do, and really are really passionate about what you create, you can become a genius at that craft. Like, and nobody should be able to tell you whether or not you're not. You know what I mean? Because like literally everybody is a genius in their own way of something. Like, it doesn't matter if it's like brushing their teeth or selling pencils or, for instance, you do a podcast, like you could become a genius at being a podcaster. You know what I mean? You could figure out the perfect way to put a podcast together or something that just works for you, where you're in your own world and you're like, man, I'm really doing this shit. You know what I mean? And it's absolutely. Just a lot of people don't have the genius mindset, but I feel like everybody can have it, and that's one of my like main mottos. It's always been ever since I started it. Like, it really started in 2013.
Okay.
So it's been like 7 years since it's been around. In my city. Started when I was younger, and it's been growing ever since. But like, it really has been growing with me, because I'm obviously like the brain behind it, I guess. But I'm really trying to get it to grow where it's like all of us are really like pushing it, and it's like we got the proper things for all of us to be able to really grow as a label and like take it to that next level. Because like, yeah, I can grow all day, but like I'm ready to start helping other people grow too as I grow, and then we make it a thing.
Yeah, it's like a community effort. Yeah.
It has been, honestly. Like, we spend a lot of time on this development. You know what I mean? And getting us to have the right sounds and have the right qualities and study marketing. And I've done consultant work with every last one of the artists that have been on my label. You know what I mean? So,
now, who like, is it just you that's involved with Genius Society, or is there a couple people involved?
No, it's me. Right now it's me, everything Chuck. 920, he does graphics, and I'm also working with a producer named Bphonics. He's not technically in Genius Society right now, but I'm looking to add him, and I'm working with a couple other artists. Like, I'm trying to get them to do like arts development programs and really help them out, to get their sound to where they want it to be, help them understand what their vision could be, and just really like be that person that was never there for me. Because like, I feel like at this point, yeah, I can do for me, but it's always nice to see what you can replicate and do again, and that's what I really want to show, that I can replicate my success again and again and again, and help other people get the same success so that they can do it for other people. Because I feel real leaders make other leaders. You know,
Yeah.
no leader should have a bunch of people up under them wondering what the next thing is.
Just being a sheep. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to train. Yeah. You want to train not just sheep, but train them to be what? Wolves.
Right. Exactly. So it's growing, and I'm looking to like start really funneling in a team. Like I got a couple people that help me on the back end with some things like that. You know, eventually I want to be able to like sign a paper that says this is their job. You know,
right,
and hire them and pay them and you know really get it to that next level too. But it takes time to really pay salaries for people. You know, you gotta make a certain amount of money in order to hire an entire record label team, which is why I do a lot of the things myself. You know, like the business side, the marketing, the PR. You know,
which is good though. I feel like especially in the beginning because it's like you get to build the foundation of what you want it to be, and then you bring in people like little by little to then just like kind of like not like in essence like maintain, but then also offer a different perspective as well. Right. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it's important I think to just be on your own in the beginning. You know what I mean? Definitely still seeking out advice and like, you know, suggestions and stuff and bouncing ideas off of people. Like it's always good to have like a group of people you can do that with.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because it's like we can say we're open-minded and like look at everything in multiple perspectives, but at the same time, that alternate perspective that you're generating is still your own perspective.
Right. That's the thing that people don't get, like with the way that they think with certain things. I feel like this is not always about somebody's perspective, but like you should allow other people to have an opportunity to see what you're thinking, and then you know if it makes sense, then okay. But like sometimes when it comes to business, especially, you gotta have other people that understand things in a situation where they're like helping you out type shit.
Yeah, they gotta buy in.
Right.
You know what I mean? They gotta buy into what you're selling. You know?
Oh yeah.
And that's like, and the most important thing is like, you find those people that like buy in like 110%. You know what I mean? And like are really down with your vision and are supportive, and it's not like they're not just there to collect a paycheck, but they're actually there to like produce something. You know, something to be proud of.
Oh yeah. Sometimes I feel like that's a blurred line too, though.
Right.
That's neither here nor there. People do things for money. People do things for vision. But sometimes money outweighs vision. You know?
Yeah. No, definitely. And then you know, it's like at the same time, it's like I understand, and you know, it's like everybody's wants and needs are different. You know what I mean? And that's what makes the world a great place is the fact that we're all uniquely like developed, and you know we process things like completely differently.
Oh, yeah.
And you know it's all built upon our past experiences, which you know form our perception, and you know, and it's like that's what makes like life in itself fun is just being able to see people be people.
Bro, I love that shit.
Yeah.
I love seeing people be people. Like, sometimes I get more joy out of seeing other people, like, accomplish things and be happy than I'll see for my own self. And it's dope when you think of it that way, because when you are in your own moment and people are happy to see you happy, you might not realize it, but you're happy, you know, and then like to transfer that same energy back into the universe is dope. Like, just to, you know, I feel like everything is reciprocated. Like I always say, you put good vibes into the universe and it'll come back full circle.
Absolutely,
You know what I mean?
I agree 100%.
Like, don't put negative energy into the world and expect good things to always happen for you. You know what I mean? Like, because eventually things aren't always gonna be good, you know. But if you put positive energy into your life and you learn optimism and like learn how to really manifest things for yourself, then you can turn any situation into what you want it to be.
Right.
And literally, like, you might be able to catapult off of the worst part of your life. You know, like people talk about all the time. They hear motivational videos. Like, I don't know how a lot of people are, but me, I get up at like 5:30 in the morning. I get up like 5:30. I'll get my workout in. Like I'll listen to some podcasts or some motivational videos on YouTube, and I just like go. You know what I mean? Like, and try to get my mind like fed all this shit, because if I'm not feeding my mind, then my mindset's gonna be negative possibly. Like I'll think about something negative, but I just know how I am. You know what I mean? I've gone through depression and anxiety my whole life, so if I let my brain tell me something, then shit, I'll be in there. If you wake up on that, then you might stay there all day. You know what I mean? But if you wake up on the right mindset and you keep going and you're rolling already, and you get all the extra hard shit out the way first, get the workout in, and it's cold outside, get a jog in, like you're like, man, this shit sucks. Like, good. Like, it's the worst part of your day. Everything else is gonna be fucking sunshine and flowers. You know what I mean? So, like a positive mindset will take people a long way, in my opinion, man.
Absolutely. And it like kind of circles back to like where we began our discussion with like building that tool set. You know what I mean? Building that toolbox and making sure that, you know, when you are in those like difficult times, you're able to have the proper tools to then work through them and, you know, be able to move on and, you know, come back up, you know, or come back down, you know, whatever the case may be.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's so important, bro. Having a toolbox. It's crazy that you say that, because like I've heard that so many times over the last few months. You know what I mean? Like that. Oh yeah, this is a toolbox, or this is your tool belt, and you have the tools, but it's up to you to figure out what tools you need in your belt every day for you to be able to be successful. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's hella important. For sure. I haven't said for sure in a while. I don't think I've ever said for sure.
You know, like kids, like friends of mine that we used to go to high school with used to say for sure all the time.
Who's he listening to? A bunch of fucking Houston artists.
Honestly, I have no idea where it originated from. I just know like a bunch of kids I played football with. It was like they would have like certain like, I guess like end calls or whatever you want to call them. They would just like throw around. You know what I mean?
What did you play in football?
I played fullback.
Fullback? Oh man, you'd have been right in front of me. Yeah. You probably could have did some damage. Man. You got huddle tapes?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I got some huddle shit.
Yeah.
Man. You gotta see my huddle.
All right. Yeah, I'll show you mine.
Facts.
Yeah, dude.
Some shit on there. I used to really run. Like I was running 4.4s. My max weight was like 179, almost 180. I'm like 5'8". So.
Yeah. See, I was in high school. I was like 5'9", 5'10", played like 230, and then when I went to college, played my first year at Duquesne, and I was like got up to like 245, had like a 21-inch neck, and just like fucking beefy as shit.
That's crazy.
Dude just did like lot of damage to the body, like a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, but it's good damage though, man.
Yeah.
I don't not miss it.
I do miss it. I just like I've done like I just had like I still need like I've had a shoulder like I had shoulder surgery, shoulder replacement, had like 7 like documented concussions, had a brain bleed, like just found out I'm gonna need like a back fusion here in about a year.
Why?
Yeah, like dude, my back's just fucked.
What the fuck were you doing?
Dude, just like just.
Were you getting injured a lot?
Yeah, well, not so much. I mean, like in high school, it was primarily just the shoulder, but like I played like my whole junior year and senior year. But yeah, dude, just like concussions like out the ass.
Bro, that's stressing me out, man. I'm blessed.
But dude, like
I don't understand, bro. I think I quit at the right time.
Yeah, no, like it's just like I mean, like I use like I'm not ashamed to say like I use my fucking body as like a battering ram, and just like didn't really give a fuck about anything as long as I did my job and I did my job effectively. You know, and it's just like
that's how I was too, bro. It's like forearm people in their face masks
yeah.
and shit. Like,
dude, I broke my helmet like junior year. Like I wanted to send it in to get reconditioned, and like Redge calls my dad, and they're like, "Yo, like, you know, Mr. Penis, like, what the fuck like happened to his helmet?" Like, it's like, "What do you mean?" Like, it's just like something weird during this football season. They're like, "Yeah, well, this thing's like damaged beyond repair. We've never like seen anything like this." They're like, "Do you mind if we submit it to a study and like we'll ship you like a brand new helmet?" And they gave me like this like special like reinforced face mask because like the end of junior year my face mask went from being like out and everything to like flattened.
Oh,
yeah, dude, it was all bent.
Your neck probably got messed up.
Yeah, dude, my neck like actually sits like 4 inches forward like out of the socket. It's like kind of fucking wild. Yeah.
Let me checking my neck now.
Yeah.
Because I used to really play football. I used to try to be on defense on offense.
Yeah.
Like, and I didn't have to be because I could try to outrun people, but
yeah.
There was something about the contact that I really like.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, let's get the gear on, man. Let's just go real quick.
That's what?
Let's
yeah,
dude,
let's just like get some helmets going.
You ever been in the tunnel? Bro,
yeah.
I used to fucking kill people. That was my shit.
No.
Because I would just run full speed. Like, I'm coming at you, bro. I'm like your ankles. If I'm on defense, then I don't know. I mean, I get love, but when I'm on offense,
bull in
I'm
the ring?
really trying to just run you the fuck over. That was my shit.
Yeah. I'm a big bull in the ring fan.
Oh yeah, bull in the ring. Oh,
yeah, the gauntlet.
Too. Gauntlet, I think so. Isn't that when you have 4 people?
It's like line this way, like facing this way, line this way, facing that way. Then you run all the way around the line, and then like you meet like in like the middle between the lines. Mm-hmm. One person has the ball, and one person's like the backer.
Yeah, that's kind of like the tunnel.
Yeah.
Is it the same as the tunnel?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, the tunnel's a little different, I guess, because the gauntlet you run, but if you're on this end and then you're on this end and you run, right?
Yeah, you go like if I'm facing this way. If I'm facing this way and you're facing that way, like I would run, turn right, come all the way up the line, and then back in.
Right.
To the side.
Yeah, well, the tunnel, you had to lay on your back. And then when they blow the whistle, you get up, and then you run at them.
Oh, fuck, okay. Yeah.
Right there.
Okay.
There's barely any run, but it depends on how far you are, too. Like,
right.
We'd have 30-yard, well, not 30 yards, I think like 20-yard tunnels. 30-yard tunnel would be crazy.
Yeah.
It's like
even 20 yards. Even 20 yards is kind of.
Yeah.
Well.
I don't know. We had a pretty big team, but for all I know is that I used to get so many stingers in my shoulders.
Yeah.
I didn't like that part about it, but one thing I did like for some strange reason is like those bumps you get whenever you bump your shit on people's shit. I used to like going home with those on.
It's almost like a callus, like.
Yeah, inside.
Yeah. It's
like,
weird.
I used to get my shin on them on my shins too.
Yeah.
Whenever I got them on my shin, that means I'm fucking.
Run, dude. They were
killing people. Yeah, you hear this song?
No.
Never released it.
No? Why not?
Well, I just heard that Fed the God had a song kind of like this.
Yeah.
It's kind of questionable. I don't know.
Copyright?
Nah. I ain't calling them up. I'm just saying. I don't like dropping songs and stuff like shit.
Yeah.
I don't think he dropped his song yet, but I know I had that for a minute.
Yeah. Where was this at?
That's still my dude, though. We did a show at Kevin Gates. I opened up for Kevin Gates.
Yeah. How long ago was this?
This was I think sometime last year.
Like around here? Like around this time of year?
Kind of. I think so. It was kind of like after I dropped Jayy Braxx.
Where was this at?
This was in West Virginia at Marriott or the Marriott.
Okay.
And that was DJ Afterthought in the background. So I'm like, you guys see him? I feel like that was weird for me to say that.
What?
But that song, but I don't care. Could be interesting. I don't know.
Start a little beef for it.
That's the last thing I need to think about. I'm trying to get in, not out.
Yeah. I mean, hey, what did I say? Like, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah, well, when you're going against the gang,
True.
I wouldn't want to do that.
True.
I love Wiz way too much, man.
Yeah.
It was an honor meeting him, man.
When did you meet him?
I met him like it was like last year sometime.
Okay. Well, when he was like in town for his concert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw him walking in the Fox show from my window. Like, just I was like in here. I think like I had some people over. And like my window was open. And all of a sudden, like you just hear like all the people waiting in line to get in the foxtail like erupt. And like girls just like fucking screaming and shit. Yeah, there's this like conversion van that like pulled up. And like next thing you know, you just see like Wiz Khalifa like step out and like go in the side door or whatever. And like yelling.
Yeah, I think we were in VIP together.
Yeah.
But I like low key snuck up there. They knew who I was though.
Yeah.
But I wasn't on the list.
No.
I was like, yo. Oh yeah. And Lodi Boy was there too.
Okay.
So I met him one time before. The Motorman was there, so I know Motorman. But we used to go be strange.
Yeah.
But honestly, Mac was the dopest person I met from like my Pittsburgh influence.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Wiz too, because like I grew up watching day-to-days, but like the way that I met Mac was just so different. We were at Spirit in Lawrenceville, which is randomly like somewhere he likes to go, I guess.
Okay.
And came in, and he had like a Paps, I think, or some shit. I had something to drink, bro. I don't remember. But his phone looked like mine right now, which is another reason why I won't get a new one.
Yeah.
But like, Mac Miller was dating Ariana Grande at this time.
Yeah.
He didn't give a fuck about his phone. He was in the fucking Spirit, chilling with Germ and Dan, and it was just like the dopest thing. Like I was talking to him and shit. I was like telling him, like, bro, Euphoria is like one of the most inspiring songs. Like I listen to like that, watching movies with the sound off.
Yeah.
That was like one of my most, like it kind of transformed a little bit of my sound. Like I feel like a lot of the albums that I really get into really help like me find inspiration.
Yeah.
Which is like a short way of saying I like really fuck with Mac, you know what I mean? But like I basically expressed that to him. Like it was like, bro, these songs helped me make this song. Like I would love for you to hear it one day. Like I played like 6 instruments. Like I was just telling him everything about me, you know what I mean? He was like, bro, that's what's up, man. Like he gave me his phone and shit, and he told me to put my number in it. I was so fucked up and like fuck that he did that. I didn't even call myself. Like the easiest thing I could have did was call myself.
Yeah, or send a text. Yeah.
Right. Didn't do it. But I was like, bro, your phone's like this. I was like, bro, your phone's fucked up. He was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. It's
like,
alright.
why don't you get a new phone? And then after that, next thing you know, we end up walking to Sunoco or something together. And I'm like walking with him with my arm on his shoulders and shit.
Yeah.
And we're like talking and shit. And we were like the same height, so it was like perfect. And I was like talking to him. I was like, bro, like, what you about to get? Like, I don't know. I was just like fucking with him, I guess. And he was like, I don't know. But I don't really remember too much after that. But I know I was fucked up. I had back and we were
just had a night.
He was telling me like, yeah, man, like, hit me up. Like, let's do something. You know what I mean? And next thing you know, it's fucking, you know, in situations that are not in our control.
Yeah.
So it's just like one of those situations where I always wonder, like now, would I ever really, have had the opportunity to work with Mac or what. But like, I know one thing is, I gotta get a song with Wiz.
Yeah.
Gotta get a song with Wiz. Got to. It's always been on my bucket list. Wiz, Snoop, Smoke Dizza,
That'd be fucking dope.
Joey Badass.
Yeah, I love Joey Badass.
I want to meet Future more than I want to get on a song with him.
Yeah.
I feel like a song with me and Future would be good, but I'd probably end up sounding like Future. So,
to Future.
Yeah. I fuck with Future, Young Thug, Uzi.
Yeah.
I like that whole vibe too. Like,
you Don Toliver fan?
I'm trying to get into him. I'm more of a Travis Scott fan than a lot of people I just listed. Like, I've actually been, like, you could say I studied Travis Scott, like, from like 2010 to now, because like, I knew when he was doing Al Faro, like that's before any of the La Flame shit. Well, he actually started La Flame around that time, and that was like 2011, and then he's one of the reasons why I got my hair like dreaded the way I do in the fade. Yeah. Because for the longest, I thought that he had faded dreads, but he really had braids. Ah, like if he would, like he can take his hair out and it would be like an afro. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or like some type of like fade afro or something. Right. But like you can't take dreads out. Like dreads are in. You know what I mean? So it's a permanent decision. Right. Unless you want to get them out, and it's like it takes so long, and you gotta undo the hair and all types of shit. But like him and Old Dirty Bastard were the reason why I got my hair like cut like this, and then like Travis Scott, he kind of like. You ever listen to my music? Like I do like Yes and Fools and shit like. Yeah. That's all like I feel like it kind of comes from that, and like being a Ferg fan and like just really like into mosh type of style. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like yeah, something you want to like get up and like fucking like go yam to. Yeah, like this song. I don't know. I feel like this could sound dope with Travis on it or something. Yeah.
The views are fucking incredible. Well, my brother, it's been a privilege having you stop by the stoop today, man. You know, why don't you go ahead and give yourself a shout out? That way people know where to find your music, learn more about the Genius Society, and feel free to give any shout outs that maybe do.
Hell yeah. So y'all can find all my music under Jayy Braxx on all social platforms, also all streaming platforms, and that's Jayy Braxx. Don't forget the 2 Y's, don't forget the 2 X's. And yeah, man, you can buy some merch at gs4ever.com. That's gs4ever.com, and then follow Genius Society on all social media platforms at Genius Society MG. That's our new handle, so it's just spelled regular Genius Society MG. And shout out to the Genius Society. You know what I'm saying? We working, putting new content out, and we're gonna keep elevating no matter what. And everybody's a genius in their own way, man. Don't forget it. I got a shirt from a man's at the stoop, so
appreciate it.
We Genius Society. We're all Genius Society.
We're gonna be rocking it. Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
No doubt, bro.
I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Follow the Trees, Ride the Vibe. For all of our athletic and artistic listeners out there, feel free to use the promo code Stoop Legends. That's Legends with a Z at checkout to receive your discount on all CBD products. Also, make sure to tune into our website at www.legendsofthestoop.com for more podcast episodes, to watch our virtual benefit. The donation drive has ended. We were able to raise over $140 for each of the 4 charities. So it was a great first round. So yeah, that video is linked on our website. And also check out their services. We do event marketing, web design, videography, photography, consultation, anything you may need, you can find right here at the Stoop. And again, I thank you, Jay, for stopping by the stoop today. It was an honor, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, bro. No doubt, man. But yeah, I forgot to say, I did forget to say,
Yeah.
at Jayy Society, we do provide services as well for artists, independent artists coming up, and also brands. If you need any music videos, any video content, graphic designs, studio time, or maybe even production for beats, get in contact with me. I'm very easy to get in contact with. And we also do artist marketing consultations as well. So if you need any advice or if you need to get a consultation, please get in contact with me. I'm trying to get more artists to work with, and you know, it's always nice working with different people. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, man. But it's a pleasure, bro.
Pleasure, man. All right, y'all. Tune in next time. Thank you.
We're the Legends of the Stoop. We're here to advocate, educate, and inspire society. Coming at you live from the South Side. Make sure to tune into our website at www.legendsofthestoop.com. Use the hashtag on all social platforms. Hashtag stupid legends. We the Legends of the Stoop. Coming at you live. Right here in Southside. www.legendsofthestoop.com.